And we have sound. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Kirby Kwan Jr. from the Six, and you are listening to another installment of the Ghetto Fabulous Podcast. Joining me today is my friend that I've known since high school. He is the man, the myth, the man that is always late, Kevin Long, aka Redial, aka formerly Shining Freedom on YouTube.
Hey, that's me.
So yeah, man, how you doing, man? Yo, dude, what's up, man?
I don't think we want to go through that one, but yeah,
no,
I'm doing
we
all
are
right.
not. Today, he is joining me tonight. That sounds kind of gay. To talk about bad customer services. That still sounds kind of gay. The thought of this idea initially came from when we went out to try to see Game 5 of the finals between the Raptors and Golden State Warriors. We had initially tried to make reservations at certain places, but because no one was completely locked down in terms of like, oh yeah, I can make it, no I can't make it, everyone was really kind of wishy-washy besides myself. We weren't able to make reservations. So then,
I mean, also half the places we were trying to make reservations at didn't actually take reservations, so it really didn't matter where we called.
Yeah, so then that led us to going to a certain St. Louis location that we may or may not have talked about on this podcast previously with other guests. And this is where our story leads to. So, Kevin, I would like you to sort of explain how were you feeling that day? Like, because we know that you're not. Firstly, Kevin does not keep up with sports. He just wanted to kind of chill with the boys, basically. Right?
I mean, yeah, that was the whole point of it. You were like, hey, you want to go like watch the game, have some wings? Like, why not, right? That's nice.
Yeah.
Also, we don't get to do that so often because everyone's always working.
Yeah, dude, are you fidgeting again? You
Yes.
fucking are, aren't you? I could fucking hear it, and if I can hear it, then they could hear it, and they could hear it clearer than I could hear it.
I can hear that through my headphones too. So
then you should, probably not do that, or at least fidget silently, like learn finger tutting or something. Yeah.
Just learn how to do like the Naruto signs in the background.
Yeah, that might help, bro. That's what finger tutting basically is. Anyways, so we wanted to go to the St. Louis, right? And when we reached there was already a few people in the lineup, and we were told that, oh, we have 4 tables left for first come first serve customers, and the remainder of the restaurant is completely booked.
Okay, I'll button slightly here.
I mean,
so,
feel free to join. I mean, this is a podcast, and obviously you were
yeah,
there too.
Well,
so.
With you explaining, I wanted to like point out one thing. It's like we weren't told that information from someone from the restaurant. That was told to us from another person in the line. So, like in hindsight, it could have been totally possible that he could have misheard information given to him from someone else, and he just relayed that misinformation to us. Obviously, it won't excuse what you're going to hear later about how terrible the service was.
Yeah.
But it's still something worth pointing out.
So games tip-off is like at 9. We got there at around 6:30, I believe. So there's me.
I thought we got there at like 6.
No, that's when we came to pick you up. Loosely. So we got there at around 6:30. I was there. Phil was there. Obviously Kevin was there, and William was there. Jeez. So I don't know if y'all gonna hear this in the podcast later, but there are motherfuckers out in my neighborhood right now. These kids, they just screaming on top of their lungs right now. And it's fucked because, the last time I recorded a podcast, there was fucking police sirens. Thankfully, that didn't go through the recording. But these kids are like literally right out my door. And they're just fucking screaming at the top of their lungs. Like, shut up, kid. Shit. Anyways.
I mean, is it showing up on your audio levels?
Actually, yes. Not significantly though. It's still like less than -50. So realistically, it's probably not going to be heard. But it's enough for me to be bothered, to be triggered. So yeah. Anyways, back to St. Louis.
To be disappointed.
Yeah. So we're at St. Louis, 6:30, and then we were told this information. There's 3 other people in front of us. So obviously we were thinking, oh, we're good. We got a table, essentially. Me, Kevin, Will, and Philip. There was a couple at the one and then there was a group of Filipinos at the 2, and then a random black dude right in front of us, and then it was the 4 of us, right? So we were supposedly, in our minds, we were like, yep, we're Gucci, we don't need to worry about this.
Like, all we had to do was wait.
Yeah, that was not the case. So we were told the couple was the first ones that got a table for themselves. They entered at around, I want to say, just about 7:30. And mind you, after us, like shortly after us, there was like a fucking lineup that just suddenly formed. Like a crowd of motherfuckers just randomly appeared, right?
I mean, also to keep in mind, I think the person who was first in line said he was waiting there for like 3 hours or something.
He was there since 5:30.
An hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was waiting like an hour before us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so a giant line formed. At 7, the first dude went in with his partner. And then at around 7:30, the group of Filipinos were split into 2, and then 4 of them went in. And then now it's the black dude and then us. And then meanwhile, there's still a line forming, right? And then this is where shit gets annoying because the worker, I guess. Is there a proper term for that? It's not quite an usher, because that's not. We'll just call her an usher. So the usher lady.
I was gonna be like, you can't really call her a receptionist because that wouldn't really apply for
because
this.
she doesn't fucking listen. So there's nothing to be received.
I kind of, I mean, since it's a restaurant, I would say waitress. That would be the closest thing, right?
I think it's still like an usher though, because she's supposed to quote unquote be near the door and shit and let the motherfuckers in. Anyways, it doesn't matter because
so, yeah.
You know what, I remember what her job title is, bitch. Okay, so this bitch. Would you like to take over from this? Because
I mean, hey, you could rant for this.
nah, I'm good. I'm trying to reserve my voice for other podcasts and shit.
Oh, we got a lot more stories. Don't worry about that.
All right. So here's the thing that kind of triggered us, right? So we were all like me, the black dude, and everybody. We were all like literally lined up against the, I guess, perimeter of the. Would you call that a lobby? Not really a lobby, but the entrance, let's say, right? And the doors were not like blocked or anything. Full clearance. You could swing the door wide open, hit the wall itself, and we are like still about a meter away from the door. So there is in no way, shape, or form you can say that we're blocking the entrance, right? Because literally the path for you to go in through the exterior door and the interior door is fully cleared for at least 2 people to be holding hands side by side, and they would still fit through. I just heard this kid like scream, and I actually saw it appear on the levels. Anyways, so this kid was like, ah, and shit. Anyways, this kid just went Super Saiyan outside, man. So that was the situation. Fully cleared path from exterior entrance or exterior doors to interior doors. Very clear path. Two of me's, and I'm fucking wide. I'm literally 2 feet wide from one shoulder to the other one. From the deltoid to the other deltoid. Straight up 2 feet wide. So you have literally 4 feet worth of width of a path to go in from the exterior door to the interior door. And she said, guys, you cannot be standing there, man. You're in the way. I have got customers and reservations. They're going to come through and then they're going to get mad at us. And we're just like, listen, man, if 2 of me can walk by, unless you are genuinely stupid or intoxicated, there's no reason for your reserved customers to cuss anybody out besides you for being a fucking buffoon. Basically.
Like everyone during that point was just standing there. It's like who's blocking the doorway?
Yeah, because
like everyone's just looking around. It's like, I mean, the doorway is perfectly clear.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Even the people outside weren't blocking the doorway. They were just standing beside the wall.
Yeah, they're standing literally against the perimeter of the establishment, right? And it's like, there's in no way, shape, or form that the door is being blocked. Because I demonstrated too. I don't know if you noticed this really subtly. She's like, people can't come in. I literally walked outside of the exterior door from the stairs, walked right back in. And I'm like, I just got in. Shit. But the thing that did trigger me though, and this is not necessarily the establishment's problem, was there was actually some pretty dumb people. If you see a lineup, typically you would assume, oh, I need to line up, so let me join the line. No, there was like so many fucking idiots that just ignored the line and walked straight in, and then were immediately kicked out. It's like, so what? You thought because there's a lineup, you don't need to be part of the lineup, and you just get in and get seats before people that are in the lineup because you totally have a reservation, right? And I don't know why people did that. Like, I think we counted, like Kevin and I, we counted at least from 8 p.m. onwards, 10 individual groups, not individual people, 10 individual groups that did that. So that's pretty stupid. So Kevin, walk me through this. What happened afterwards again?
After she told us to clear the doorway.
Yeah, she's like, here, I can't have you guys standing here. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
So after she told us to clear the doorway, everyone's still, standing off to the side, like just chatting, waiting for them to let us in.
Yeah.
Because supposedly there's 4 tables available. Which I think at that point, didn't she already tell us that there wasn't tables available?
Well, here's the thing. Because of her demeanor, we didn't know if she was telling the truth or she was just saying that so that we would fucking leave. And the dumbest thing that she said was, there's no reason for you guys to even be around here because we have like reservations and it's fully booked. And I fucking told her, I'm like, if it's fully booked, why did that man who walked in here and then waited an hour was able to go in? And then she's like, oh, because a customer canceled. Oh, wow. I guess that means that there is a way for us to get in if a customer cancels. And then she's like, but they're not going to cancel. I'm like, you don't fucking know that. That's why we're here. Like,
I'm sure about that.
Yeah, like, unless you have a live feed to their house or to their phone or whatever, and you're constantly on the line with them, you don't know that. That's the dumbest thing ever. They're not going to cancel. How do you know that? You don't, because that's why there is a couple in there that came here before us, and they did not have a reservation. That's why they are there, because somebody canceled, meaning that you don't fucking know that. And you don't have any proof or evidence to say otherwise either. And that should be expected. If you've been in this business, that is to be expected. Motherfuckers will cancel, especially if there's bad weather outside. And there was bad weather that day.
Oh, yeah, believe me, there was fucking bad weather that day.
Now, okay, I'll be honest. It wasn't that bad. But then again, like...
It was bad for a summer day.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, like, for me, it was nothing. I was prepared. So she kept on fucking doing that. And then, like, the thing that actually got us triggered when she was like, guys, at around 8:30, people are going to be rolling in, so I need you guys to, like, exit the lobby in 5 minutes. You guys can't be blocking the entrance. And then guess when she kicks us out?
Everyone's just like, all right, cool. And then she was like, all right, you need to get out.
It's like, fam, clearly you don't know what the fuck 5 minutes is. Because literally, this is the exchange. Guys, I'm going to need you to walk out the door. There's people going to be coming in 5 minutes, so in 5 minutes I'm going to have to come back and ask you guys to leave. Why are you guys still standing here? Like, go. Not like, so why are you guys still standing here? Like, yeah, I'm going to kick you out eventually anyways. She straight up said, so you guys should leave now. It's like, woman, I don't think you know what 5 minutes is, clearly.
Yeah, like hearing that, anyone would kind of get pissed off. It's like, bitch, we're the people who's paying your fucking, who's gonna be paying for your goddamn paychecks. Like, that's not how you treat customers.
So then by 9, we just gave up, or not by 9, but like 8:40 or so, 8:50, we just decided to give up. Like, fuck it. It seems like we looked it through the window, like homeless people, and we're like, you know what? It seems like they are indeed fully booked right now.
No, it's like that. It's like that fucking that Christmas shit with the orphans, like standing outside the window.
Yes, I just forgot what it was called. Ghost of
looking into
Christmas
like the family having
shit.
like a nice Christmas dinner, and you're just standing outside in the fucking like cold and rain and snow, and just like watching them.
Kind of.
That was essentially what everyone outside was doing. And keep in mind, like when we showed up, there was like a huge line outside. Eventually, that huge line left because
shortly after we showed up, there was a huge line.
Like if we weren't getting in, they're clearly not getting in.
Yeah.
But like we still thought we had a chance. So by the time they kicked us out, it was only like us and the group in front of us, more or less.
So, by 8:30 we decided to leave, right? And then, we all split eventually, and we watched the game individually, and we all kept up with each other through Discord, with exception to Kevin, because he doesn't watch sports. He was just there for just because. So then, we find out, oh, okay. So, we watched the game, and then we lost by a point. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me call St. Louis right now and see if the same St. Louis and see if we could make a fucking reservation so that they can't say shit, right? So I call. Someone answered. It rang. Someone answered the phone. So then we had a really brief conversation. She said, "Hi, welcome to St. Louis. How can I help you?" And I said, "Hi, my name is Kirby Kwan Jr. Can I make a reservation for Thursday night, because that was when Game 6 was going to happen?" And then she's like, "Oh, for 8:00 for Game 6?" I'm like, "Yes, you dumb fuck. Like, what else am I going to be fucking making?" So I'm like, "Yes, for Game 6, please." And then she's like, "Oh, sure. Just please hold." I'm like, "Cool." 15 minutes later, this bitch fucking hung up on me. And the reason why this was triggering for me was because if you could not take the reservation, just tell me, "No, we're not taking reservations until tomorrow."
The best part is we like, as we said, we called other places to see if they were taking reservations, and a lot of them weren't. But the good thing was that they actually said, "Oh yeah, so either call us back tomorrow because we don't know yet, or no, we're not taking reservations. It's going to be a first come first serve basis."
Yeah.
Which is fine because then we know, okay, we just have to show up early and get seats.
But no, she was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I can make a reservation for you. Please hold for 15 minutes as I hang up on you afterwards." It's like, what is the point of doing that? So Kevin, you're in to a degree, you're sort of in like where you work is like a, I guess, service, so to speak. You don't work as a server though. You work as in the kitchen.
No,
right?
I'm in the back of house. Yeah.
Okay, so what are some common like service issues that someone in your position, not in your very specific position, but someone in your establishment would sort of need to deal with sometimes?
I mean, like, for us back of house, we don't have to like really deal with much, right? It's just that we make the food, and it's like, hey, if it's bad, we just remake it and like see what's wrong.
Yeah, but I can't get Willem to be in the podcast, so that's why I'm asking you. Because
Yeah,
y'all in
fair.
the same like establishment. So
I mean, like, I don't get as much stories as he does, right? Because I don't get to hear most of it.
right,
I get to hear some of it.
yeah. So
Not most of it.
So like in someone that works, in a position of serving. Now, granted, you're not a server directly. What are some sort of things that make it really difficult for you to provide quality service, like from customers? Like what is some behavioral aspects of a shitty customer that y'all just can't stand sometimes? If you can't think of something, I got something in mind.
Okay, well, like, I can't think of something right off the bat, but I can tell you, like, some examples of shit that we've experienced that were really stupid.
Sure, let's hear
it. So, let's see. I know one, like, I mean, a lot of the times, this is, like, a very common occurrence where it's, like, somebody orders some shit, and it's like, "Oh, I didn't ask for this." And then we go look at the order, and they literally didn't punch it in. They go and ask, like, the person who, basically the runner, like the waiter, more or less.
Right.
And they're like, "Yeah, they literally never asked for that." So we're saying, like, okay, I guess we have to remake the order because the fucking customer literally didn't ask for the item that they wanted, and they're like, "Hey, I didn't get this item."
I mean, like, for me, right? I work in two establishments. One is an athletic apparel, and then the other one is in the headwear department of a bigger like store, right? So in the athletic apparel store, after the Raptors more so won the championship, right? We were finally able to sell the championship hats. So here's the thing, man. If you know something is sought after, it doesn't make sense for you to expect us to have it in abundance. Especially, it's like getting a limited release Jordan, right? You don't expect to walk into a Foot Locker 2 days after the release date and say, hey, do you guys still have like the Space Jam 11s or some shit? Like, that's just, no, you don't fucking do that.
Right.
So the thing that triggered me was, okay, first things first, this is what happened. So, athletic apparel store. I was starting that day from 9 to 9, so full day for me. I got there earlier than 9, of course, because, you know, we're opening and shit. And there's already
a 12-hour shift is literally a full day shift.
Yeah. Well, technically it's half day if you want to get really, like, jokes aside, though. I walk into the mall itself, and already there's a huge fucking lineup, right? We're talking, like, well, I mean, I can't quite, if I were to guess, there was at least 250 people. At least already in line before we opened. So me, my manager, and my assistant manager were starting that day. So I enter the store, you know, we prep ourselves, we're getting everything ready. So I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna let 2 people in at a time because we only have 2 registers, and we set the limit to, you can only get the 2 championship hats. That's it.
Which makes sense.
So, you know, so far so good. There's no problems. You know, I'm on register 2, assistant manager is on register 1, and then my manager is at the gate letting 2 people in at a time. Sounds like a pretty simple system, right? You can't really fuck it up. So then this dude comes in and asks him, hey, welcome to I almost fucked up there. Welcome to our athletic apparel store. How many championship hats would you like? And it's like, oh, I would like to have 5, please. I'm like, sir, I can't do that. The limit is 2. And then he's like, yeah, but I'm a tourist. And I'm like, the limit
Why the fuck does that matter?
Yeah, I'm like, that's great. The limit is still 2. It's like, yeah, but like, I'm going to be leaving tomorrow, so could I have 5? Like, no, the limit is 2. I can only give you 2. 2, 1,
oh,
or
that's
nothing.
wonderful. You're leaving early.
Yeah, I was like, 2, 1, or nothing. Like, empty-handed. It's like, just give me 5, man. And then my assistant manager is like seeing this shit, right? And she sees that I'm starting to get cheesed. And she knows me well enough to know that, like, if I get angry, then there's a problem, right? Because I'm almost like the most chill guy, like, at both of my workplaces, right? So then she's like, so she helps me out, and she's like, sir, the limit is 2, 1, or nothing. And then he's like, oh, but miss, I'm a tourist, you know, like, couldn't I just get 5? Couldn't you, like, you know, make an exception? And then she's like, bruh. And then she calls, like yells for my manager. Is like, yo, could you explain to this fool that it's only 5, that it's only 2 or nothing? Like, we can't do 5. And then my manager says, sir, it's 2 or nothing. It's either you get 2 or you leave empty-handed, right? So he's like, okay, fine, I'm just joking, I'll take 2 and shit. So then
I was like, is this fool gonna be like, yeah, but I wanted 5?
It's like, that's great. I wanted 5 too. I can't even get one right now because you serve you motherfucks. No, but so then I cash him out. I give him to him, like, goodbye, be gone, and shit like that. And then the daughter that was with him, because his English was very limited, but the daughter that was with, but clearly he understood when I said 2 only, and he was still trying to bargain me down to give him 5. Like, fam, this is not fucking Chinatown. I can't do this shit. So then, his daughter, excuse me, like the tourist's daughter was like, oh, that was really uncalled for, you know, like, to my manager. It's like, why'd you have to like yell at him like that? And it's like, bitch, like, do you not realize that you're holding up a fucking lineup of at least 200 people, and then you're trying to fucking abuse the system just because you're a tourist? You think we have to bow down to you? The limit is 2. It's either buy 2 or leave. Like, if you want 5, you have to take the L. I wanted 10. I still have to take the L, and I fucking work there. I can't even get one for myself yet. Like, what the fuck, you know? So that's over with, right? We had, I want to say we had about like 400 units or so, and then within the first hour we sold out already, right? It could have been a little bit faster if these fuckfaces would just abide by the rules, 2 only, but whatever. That's a really shitty way to start the day, but fuck it, we got it over with, we Gucci. Oh my god. So then what happens is so we're sold out, and obviously it's a sought after item, you know. Toronto's never won an NBA championship title before, besides this one time. So everyone wants to hop on the bandwagon and shit, or everyone wants to be prideful for their city, however which way you want to look at it, whatever. So, but obviously we're sold out. So when we're sold out, that means we don't have one. So
I mean, yeah, obviously.
So no, I have to define this because it's fucking stupid. So we put up a sign. We have these like little security towers at our entrance at this apparel store, athletic apparel store. So we tape these signs on there that says Toronto Raptors champions hat all sold out. And we had about 4 of those signs taped onto the towers, taped onto the edge of the entrances, on a window. You can't miss it, right? Like there's like on surface area alone, the combined surface area of the signs that we put up that said that were sold out was about as much, if not greater, than the actual sign of the store. And motherfuckers came in and asked us, do you guys have the championship hats? It's like, motherfucker, do you not know how to read? Now, here's the thing.
I mean, a lot of people don't.
Here's the thing. Like, if you ask me, you know, when are we going to get them back? That makes sense. If you ask me, how long did they sell out? That makes sense. If you ask me, how was there a line and how bad was it? That all still makes sense. But if you're going to ask me, do I still have it? Number one, that shows that you couldn't read. Or you were just ignorant and you didn't see the sign. Okay, fine. Let's assume it was the latter. And then
how big was the sign that you said?
It was just regular A4 paper, like printing paper. So
okay, I'll give you like the benefit
yeah. So
of the
like
doubt.
I'll make the exception and give you the benefit of the doubt, right? But then this is the shit that never fucking made sense to me, right? Oh, we're sold. They asked me, regardless of whether they've seen it or not, if they're hopeful. Oh, do you guys still have the championship hats? Oh, no, we're sold out, man. Oh, really? Do you have some in the back? The fuck do you think? I just told you we sold out. I'm not wearing one. My manager isn't wearing one. My assistant manager isn't wearing one. So what makes you think that we fucking have them? And then they were like, oh, well, I really wanted one. And I didn't know that there was a lineup or whatever. I'm like, well, if you, and then I asked them, like, be honest with me, because, like, did you watch the playoffs? And then they're like, yes. I'm like, who did we face in the first round? Exactly. Exactly. So does that mean, so be honest with me here. I'm not going to judge you. You just want it because we won, right? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, okay, cool. So now that I know you don't watch basketball, you just want it because we won. Wouldn't you think that everyone else wants it because we won? And he's like, yes. So, like, if you know everyone else wants it, what makes you think that we're going to have so many hats for everyone when if you look at most people out there, they don't wear hats in the first place?
You're just like,
and
wonderful.
why the
I've confirmed
fuck?
That your brain is possibly functional.
Yeah, and what makes you so special that we need to have one reserved for you, knowing that our store does not do reservations?
Also, my favorite from like reading like retail stories is that
my God.
whenever everyone like somebody brings up, oh, you know, can't you just get it from the back? Everyone just magically assumes that the back is like this magical. Like,
we don't have a fucking like trans-dimensional portal that just brings us to
magical
the
warehouse that just has whatever you need.
Yeah, like this isn't a fucking shoe store. It's a snapback. It's adjustable. It's not like we have different sizes in the back. I got the sizes in the back. No, but seriously, we don't. It's one size fits most. And shit, right? And then like, oh, well, you guys should have had more, yada, yada, yada. How come y'all can't like order more and shit? I'm like, well, how come you couldn't wait in line? How come you couldn't come like earlier?
Like, you know, yesterday.
Yeah, like, why is it my fault that you wanted a product but you didn't pursue it 100%? Like, if you had work or something and you just decided to try anyways, that makes sense. But don't get mad at me because you couldn't get the product. I still don't have the product. Well, on that day. Eventually I did get my champion hat, don't worry. But it's like, fam, like, it's not my fault that you don't have what you wanted. Like, there was nothing that I could do, and clearly there was nothing that you could do. Why are you all up on my case? And then they kept on, oh, could you order one online for us? Yada, yada, yada. Oh, when you get a restock, could I have a reservation? I just told you, we can't do a reservation. First come, first serve. And our online store is separate from our physical store, so why don't you just go online and figure it out? Like, clearly, there's more motherfuckers in here that's hopping on the bandwagon, and it's like packed as fuck in this store. Like, I don't have time to deal with these things case by case. And even when it's a regular day, I still don't have enough time to deal with this shit case by case, because I need to greet customers, ask them if they're interested in other products or promotions, and help them out with other shit. You're not special to me, and you never will be. Until you get a membership. No, I'm kidding. But like, but like, fam.
Can I interest you in a membership?
But like, fam. Like, if you know this is a product that is sought after and everyone wants it, you can't assume that you're special and that we'll have one for you. Also, there's signs outside.
Can you not read?
Ah, man. So then, so that was the Friday. That was the day right after the Raptors won the chip, right? So then, they kept on asking, motherfuckers kept on asking us, oh, do you have a restock coming in? Do you have a restock coming in? And I'm like, listen, man, I don't know if we're going to get a restock right now, because obviously we've never won before, so we don't know how to handle these situations. Let me just put it like this. Let's assume that we have a restock. Just come early, just in case. Because I can't tell you when it comes. Because I don't know when it comes. And they're like, oh, well, do you have an estimation of when it comes? I'm like, it doesn't really matter if I have an estimation or not. Because if it comes early and I told you later, then you're fucked. If I told you come early and it comes, or sorry, if it comes later and you're already there, you're going to get mad at me. So I really don't know. Like I'm breaking it down to you. But what I verbally said was, listen, ma'am or sir or both, I genuinely do not know when we are going to get a restock on the champion hats. Your best bet is to come early, because if it comes, you're already there. I can't guarantee you if it's even going to come in. So it's not a matter of, yes, we're getting in, just be patient. It's a matter of, motherfucker, we won for the first time. How the fuck am I supposed to notice?
But I mean, that's like a fucking universal rule, right? It's like the same thing as when we were trying to get food for the finals. It's like first come, first serve for most places. It's literally a universal rule. You show up first, you fucking get what you want.
Yeah, or like going to a movie theater, right? Like, same shit. Like, if you want your seats reserved first, then, get there first, right? So that happens, right? And then, surprise, surprise, we get a surprise restock on the championship hats, right? And then, we sell out within the hour again, immediately. A line suddenly formed out of nowhere and shit, out of thin air. And, that was that, right? So then people came in later and they said, oh, do you guys still have any more champion hats? I'm like, nah, man, we just sold out. And they're like, oh, well, when are you going to be getting the restock? I'm like, that was the restock. So then they're like, oh, well, are you going to be getting any more? It's like, man, like, I really don't know. We never won before. It's like, oh, well, could you check if other stores have it? It's like, no, we can't, because, like,
isn't that your job? You're the one buying it.
Well, I mean, I see where they're coming from, but I'm like, yeah, we can't actually do that because our system doesn't, like, have the capability to check, like, other stores' inventory and shit, right?
Like, it doesn't keep track of it, like, the inventory?
Yeah, not from other stores. And then they're like, oh, well, could you, like...
I mean, that makes sense.
And then they're like, oh, well, could you call, like, another store to see if they have it? And then I'm like, sir, you see this lineup right here? This isn't even for the Champions hat. This is just a regular lineup. I'm at the cash register having a side conversation with you. Could you just do your due diligence and just search up? Very easy. There's this thing out there called the internet. And just search up other locations, see if they have it. So I didn't give him as much attitude as I am now, but I'm like, fam, just search up another store. Like, I'm in the middle of a fucking transaction. If I fuck up this change, that's going to be on me. So how about you use the internet and figure out what their number is? You know what's funny, by the way? Our phones were dead. Like, from our store. I don't know about other stores, but our store, for some reason, our phones were actually dead. They're like, yo, I was calling you guys. How come y'all didn't pick up? I'm like, try calling again. No, I was like, no, excuse me. I was like, did it ring? They're like, no. I'm like, the fuck do you think then? Oh my God. But yeah, our phones were there. It's like, yo, I called. How come y'all didn't pick up? It's like, well, okay, fine. You're here now. So clearly you could have made it and said whatever you needed to say to us in person. How can I help you, bruh? I'm like, yo, do you still have the champion hats? I'm like, do you have eyes? Shit. No, but I was like, no, man, we're sold out. Oh, when's the restock coming in? We just sold the restock. And then they're like, oh man, I really wanted one. I'm like, yeah, me too. I still don't fucking have one myself. and shit, right? Like, and I fucking work here, and shit like that, right? So, it's just so annoying sometimes when like there are signs you could read. Why do you do this? The other thing I hate is like, oh my god, I was closing, right?
Right.
So I pulled the gate halfway. Let's say we close at 9. It's like 8:55. I close it halfway, and then people come in, right? And
Yeah.
here's the thing. Thankfully, like at my specific store, it's not like super big, so it's still somewhat easy for me to keep track of stock and shit, and like different like pieces and shit, like jerseys or t-shirts or hats or whatever the fuck. But the thing is, they all asked me the same shit, and here's the thing. If y'all ask me the same shit, right, I'm gonna just answer all of you guys at the same time because it makes sense. Hey, do you have the champion hats? It got to the point where I'm like, don't ask, you want a champion hat, right? It's like, yeah. I was like, okay, let me give you the 411 on the situation and that. So I broke it down to them, right? And then literally, remember, it's already 8:55. We're closing right now. I'm trying to sweep the motherfucking floor, right? Literally walks out. And then at around 8:57, comes right back in. So do you have them now? No, bitch! Why would we get the products when we close? And if we do, obviously, we're going to sell it tomorrow morning. And this is the weekend, so you don't have an excuse this time. You can just wake up early, get to the store, line the fuck up. No, man. Like,
the funny thing is, like, why would they show up in the same day?
Yeah, like, it made no sense. Oh, my God. Oh my
Whether
God.
you show up in the morning or at night, it make no big difference.
So then I finally get my hat, right, and I could wear it in the store and shit. Well, obviously, because I'm trying to fucking flex on people. I can't even lie. So I'm selfish like that. So I finally get my championship hat, right? I'm wearing it in store and shit. And I have it basically chained to my neck. Not actually, but like I have this shit tighter than usual so that no one could fucking steal this shit, right? So then they come in, oh, do you have the champion hat? It's like, no. It's like, but you're wearing one right now. I'm like, yeah, but I bought this one, fool. And shit. I was like, oh, well, can I have it? I'm like, you can have this fucking 5-finger discount, bitch. Like, but it's like, fam, no, you cannot have my hat. It's on my head because I own it. And then like, oh, but like you're working, so like, aren't you selling products? I'm like, yeah, I sold this to a customer named Kirby Kwan Jr. Look at my name tag, Kirby Kwan Jr. So it's like, like, no, bitch, you cannot have the one from my head. And here's the thing. They didn't say, can I buy it off you? They said, can I have it? It's like, fam, if my mom can't touch this, what makes you think that you can? Jokes aside, though, I hate it when they do this. Like, oh, well, I mean, you're wearing one, right? So obviously you have more in the back. So then I'm like, no, we do not have more in the back. It's like, could you just check for me? I'm like, dude, you think that I won't know if we have a highly sought after item in the back room? Obviously, if we have it, we're gonna be selling that shit. And he's like,
I mean, for those situations, you might as well just walk to the back, like literally open the door, walk in, and just walk out. It's like, nope, we don't have
this
it.
is what I ended up doing. I'm like, okay, fine. No, actually, no, I don't think I actually said anything. I just went to the back room and I snapped a photo on my phone. It's like, what do you see in this? What do you see in this photo? And there's like a whole lot of cardboard boxes. Yeah, do you know what used to be in there? What? The champion hat. Oh, so yeah, but do you guys have No, I just gave you evidence that we do not have shit. Oh my god, it's so like why do motherfuckers out there do not understand when it says we do not have it? We do not have it now. We will not have it anymore in the remainder of the day because we already got it. Shut up. Because even 2 days ago, at the time that we're recording this and I was working, a little kid came into my store and was like, excuse me, sir, do you have the champion hat? And I'm like, sorry, buddy, we sold out like a week ago or so, at the time that we're recording this at least. And then he goes,
Right.
oh, okay, mister. And then he leaves. Now I'm just going to assume that because he's a kid, he's either too impatient to look at signs or he just decided to ignore it. Fine, whatever. And then he comes back in the store. He doesn't ask me again, but he comes back in the store. to ask my assistant manager or whoever else was working that day. I don't know. Excuse me, ma'am, do you have the Toronto Raptors NBA champion hats and whatever? Same routine. She says the same thing. Whatever. Well, she actually gets more triggered than I did. She was like, "Do kids not know how to read these days?" And I'm like, "Sure, whatever." So then, okay. First is, I guess I forgot to say this. The kid was Filipino. It doesn't really matter that he's Filipino. It's more so what he did. So then a Filipino man comes up, and he asks me, he's like, "Hey, sir, so do you guys still have any more of the NBA champions hat?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, we sold out like a week or two ago." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then he turns around and looks at this kid. I didn't realize that the kid came back, this Filipino kid. And then he says, "See, son, they don't have any more." It's like, bruh, we just told you twice that we don't have it. Why?
People are dumb. People are very dumb.
Again, I'll at least say this though. That's a kid. So if I were to kind of get into his mind a little bit, right? I guess when I was a kid too, when I wanted a toy and it wasn't there, I would walk back to the toy aisle. The difference is when I see that it's not there, no matter how many times I walk back to that same toy aisle, I realize, I guess it's not there since I just went through every shelf or whatever. Now, granted, this is an athletic apparel store, so you need to go through every hat rack and shit. Maybe one's tucked behind a jersey or so. I don't know. I'm just making up excuses for this kid. But it's like, if you already asked me twice, and it's within the same hour. It's not like he came in the morning, didn't see it, left, came in the afternoon, asked, and then asked like an hour before we closed. That kind of still makes sense. This dude asked me, this whole story happened within the same half an hour. So essentially this kid asked me like 3 times and asked my other coworkers twice. It's like, kid, we don't have it. And also there's signs. We would take them down if we got it. Anyways, I'm getting really triggered.
That is the gist of.
I still have more I could tell you, but let's talk about your side of things, because I just realized I've been talking by myself for about like 20-40 minutes now. In your establishment, which Kevin works at a restaurant, right? So what has been some of the dumbest behavior that you had, or what is some shit that you have to deal with sometimes? I like how we went from this is going to be a podcast about bad customer service to bad customers. We fucking completely 180'd that shit.
I mean, it's like the same category, isn't it?
I don't think it's the same, but it's hand in hand.
It's a very similar category.
Yeah. Like talking about a bad baseball and then a bad baseball bat. I don't really know, but whatever. Yeah, what is some shit that you have to deal with sometimes?
I mean, like I said, since I'm working back of house, for the most part, it's just like orders. So if orders are like something goes wrong, we would have to fix it. But like, I'm trying to think of one that was really bad that that I can actually remember. I mean, there's a lot of orders where it's like they tell us to like put something on the, like whatever they're ordering. Right? Let's say they ordered like a burger.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so they want let's just say they don't want lettuce on their burger.
Romaine lettuce.
Like, okay, cool. Like, well, any lettuce in general, actually. Like, let's just say that, right? Like, they don't want lettuce.
Okay.
Okay, cool. We send the burger just with everything except for the lettuce.
Yeah.
And then it gets sent back, and they're like, oh no, they also didn't want like this and this, and we're like, okay, that's cool. Why didn't they like punch that into the order?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, oh, well, they did. Well, sometimes they'll say that, and we're like, okay, cool. We literally go to like our POS system, and we just tap on it. It's like, okay, you can see the order right here. It just says no lettuce.
And then you turn into the open button shirt black dude and just, why the fuck you lying? Oh my god.
But at that point we can confirm with the person who took the order. It's like, oh, well, yeah, like when they took the order, they didn't say anything about that either. So it's like, then why the fuck are they complaining about it?
Has there ever been a situation? Well, no, granted you are back of house, but has there ever been a situation where anyone in your establishment, needed to pull the manager out?
I've heard about it happening.
Okay. Because I've done that before, and it was
Like,
so stupid.
I know for like a lot of them, it's like, oh, if something, well, most of the time it's like if we serve something, that like they want a redo of, and if we don't have enough of it right now, like we literally can't serve them it. So it's like, oh, we just can't make that item, and they would have to like to call a manager and be like, okay, we'll just have to get them a refund or something.
Okay.
I know. I mean, if you're talking about bad customers, the one standout story is that somebody in our like, how would I explain this?
Yeah, because I
Uh,
totally already know the story, right?
no, I'm like, how would I explain this? Someone, they caught two people fucking in the washroom.
Oh yeah, y'all briefly told me about this before.
Yeah, like that's the problem is since I work back of house, I don't get like most of the details on this stuff. So all I know is that like uh basically one of the waiters caught like someone like fucking in the washroom, so they had to call the manager, and it was like this whole mess of like the it was just real bad.
Didn't
Yeah,
Shaw like? Okay, if memory serves, didn't Shaw like kick them out of the restaurant,
yeah,
and then they
they
were
did.
caught later, like fucking in a theater or some shit?
I think that's. I'm not sure about the theater part. I know it's like like I think
Or excuse me, in the theater washroom.
they were supposedly like fucking in the washroom, and then like they tried to like play it off as nothing. So then they had to call the manager, and yeah, they had to kick them out. It was
Jeez.
just really embarrassing to hear.
I mean,
I didn't see it.
it sounds pretty embarrassing. The thing that I hate is let's say if there's a product that is like, I don't want to say defective, but it looks defective, so to speak, because I'm in apparel and I'm in athletic apparel in one, and then I'm in specialty headwear in the other, right? So
Right.
the example I'm going to give is, man, this woman like she was getting to a point where I was going to clock out and then clock her out. It was fucking stupid. So this is what happened. She got a fedora, and she was like, "Oh, could you do the ribbon like this?" And I'm like, "I got you." Now, with this particular model of the fedora, because of the way that it's pinched and how the brim is supposed to be, it's not meant to sit on your head perfectly straight. Well, the brim is like the line of where the brim is. That's meant to sit you perfectly straight, but it's meant to look like it's kind of tilted backwards, right? Like the whole crown itself. So for those who want like a more dumbed down, sort of more relatable explanation, think of it like it's supposed to be. Think of a baseball cap. It's meant to sit on your head in a way where the brim kind of shoots upward a little bit, like tilted upward ever so slightly. That's the way that it's meant to sit on your head. So
Right.
she's like, "Oh yeah, could you guys do the ribbon for me like this?" "Yeah, I got you, no worries." So then she leaves, and then she comes back after the job is done. And then she's like, "Oh great, thanks." She picks it up, and then she stays in the store, and she's looking at the ribbon job, right? And she's like, "Hey, so the alignment of the ribbon is a little bit weird. It's like not sitting straight. The brim also is not sitting straight." And then I explained to her, I'm like, "Yeah, for this particular style of fedora, yada yada yada. What I just told y'all, basically."
Right.
And then she's like, "Oh, okay. It looks crooked." I'm like, "Listen, man. Like, if you feel as though the product is not up to the standard that we I guess advertise, so to speak, like if you want me to do anything about it, I can get my manager out and he'll be able to work something out for you, and like, sorry for the experience or whatever." Even though I know, because obviously it's a specialty fucking hat store, obviously I would fucking know these things, where it's like, no, it's meant to look that way, you're just stupid. That's
Right.
what's actually going on. But I'm just like, because she didn't even try it on yet, so I was just like, but I'm like, you know what, like, whatever, she doesn't get it, it's cool, she refuses to put it on her head. I'm like, fuck it, whatever, she's stubborn, right? So then I said, "Listen, man, if you want to, I could get my manager out here, maybe we could work something out." And then she's like, no, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get, in my mind, I'm like, "You dumb bitch, I'm not gonna get in trouble for you not fucking trying a hat on, so I'm not gonna get in trouble." So I'm like, but I didn't say that, but that was what's going on in my head. So I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm not gonna get in trouble. It's fine. Like, if I made a mistake, I have to own up to it. It's not like I'm gonna get fired or anything." She's like, "Okay, no, it's fine. I'll be okay. It's fine. It's just, it's a little bit crooked." So immediately there's already a problem, which is You're telling me things. What you're verbally saying is, it's fine, but I'm not okay with it.
Right.
Those are
It makes no fucking
conflicting sentences. That's like saying, yeah, I'm right-handed, so that's why I write with my left. Like, what? That's basically what she's saying. So then...
No, it's like saying, yeah, I'm right-handed, and it's really hard to write with my left while you're writing with your left hand.
So, no, because she verbally said both. So then in my mind, it's established, okay, she's not happy with the product. And then it's also established that, but she doesn't want to speak to the manager. So, in that situation, the only thing I could do is say, I'm sorry for your experience. Is there anything you want me to do? I've already tried that. And she said, no, there's nothing that you could do for me, essentially. So, in that situation, bitch, leave. There's motherfuckers in the line. So then she says, really? That's it? And I'm like, what did you want? Like, I straight up said, I'm like, what did you want? Did you want to speak to the manager? I could grab him out right now. And she said, I just, like, not even a discount or something. I'm like, what? Why don't you fucking tell me that? I asked you if there's anything, absolutely anything. Do you want me to fucking, like, lick your pussy? Do you want me to, like, eat shit? Anything. That's what anything encompasses. Literally anything you want me to do. Would you like me to grab the manager and he'll sort something out for you? Anything. You could have requested the fucking discount then and there. But you said verbally, nah, it's okay. It's fine. So what that means is, hi, ma'am, this is my offer that I'm giving to you, where you could literally request or make a request anything, including what you are going to tell me later. Would you like to do that now? No, it's okay. I don't really need you to do absolutely anything for me. There is nothing that you can do for me. Okay, cool. Have a nice day, ma'am. Well, actually, I can't believe you didn't fucking do this. Bitch, I gave you the opportunity. So then she was like, give me your manager. I'm like, I'll give you a fucking fistful of fuck you. I didn't say that, but that's in my head. So I'm like, I'm biting my tongue so hard that I ended up bleeding. So then I get my manager out, right? So then my manager is like dealing with her, right? So
right.
I'm ready. I'm like, if she says anything wrong about me, I'm gonna clock out and call you out on the spot. So I cash out other customers and I'm helping other customers. Because here's the thing about me, man. I don't mean to boast or nothing, but when it comes to specialty headwear, even though my whole department is specialty headwear, no one knows specialty headwear the way that I do. Like, I'm very, very precise and very, like, I just know specialty headwear. Because most people, when they think of headwear, they just think baseball caps, right? That's cool and everything, but I know that, and then I know actual dedicated specialty headwear. So even within my own, like, coworker group, we all know that I am the most, like, specific about that shit. So even the manager, like, if there's a question about, differences between different pinches and creases, he's gonna say, oh, speak to him, he'll know. And that him is me. So obviously I know she's wrong by default. So I don't even fucking worry about that, right? So then afterwards, after about, like, clocking out 4 or 5 customers, or cashing out 4 or 5 customers, and my manager comes up. I asked my manager, like, so what happened? And then he explains, yeah, I told her, because of the way that this is that the crown is supposed to be, the brim is meant to dip down in the front, and it's supposed to look lopsided when it's flat on a flat surface, and when it's worn, I'm like, that's funny. I told her the exact same shit. And then he's like, yeah, just fucking whatever. I'm like, so did you give her a discount? Tell me you didn't give her a fucking discount. And he's like, and then my manager's like, no, after I explained it to her, she was okay with it. I'm like, bruh, like, the only difference between my manager and me, because you've met my manager, we're fucking alike. The only difference is that my manager is called the manager. That's the only difference. And then she gave me all this attitude and shit. I'm like, oh, why are you so stupid?
I mean, sometimes that's what you need, right?
Jesus Christ. I'm going to rename this podcast just Kirby Rants About Dumb People at his retail stores.
Well, I mean, like, sometimes that's what you need, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Like, you just need a person in a position of power.
I kind of wish, though, my manager just said, oh, have you spoke with him yet? because like he knows his shit better than I do. And if anything, I ask him. Ooh, that would have been so good. The dumb thing is she refused to try the hat on. And she's like, "Oh, I even asked her like, would you like a refund?" And she's like, "No." Here's the thing too, we're not even supposed to refund customized products. So I was like, if you want a refund, I could give that to you if I get approval from a manager. And he's literally right there. And like, shit, I just need to get him to say, yeah, let's just do it. It's fine. That's all I needed to do. And you just need to leave a reason, and that's it.
Right.
No, it's okay. Really, I could do if there's anything you want. Anything. No, it's okay. Really? Not even a discount? Oh my god.
All right, cool. Is your problem solved? Well, actually.
Yeah. It's like, well, thank you for shopping thank you for shopping here. Well, actually, my problem isn't solved because you didn't offer. No, I literally offered everything. Everything. Another customer, I don't know why this happened. I actually don't know why this happened. So I'm cashing out a customer. This is at the other store. This is at Athletic Apparel, also for Champion Hand, of course. So I'm cashing out a customer, and she was like, "Oh, actually, no, she didn't do anything. I'm cashing out a customer, and then a random person comes into the store. Dude, the mall comes into the store, and it just asks me while I'm mid sentence saying your total will be whatever to the to the paying customer. It says, "Oh, excuse me, sir. Do you guys still have any Champion hats?" I'm like, "No, sir. They're all sold out currently." Because that's literally all I could say in the moment. I'm like, you fucking interrupted me. First things first, I hate people cutting me off in general. But I'm like, especially in this case, like, motherfucker, there's a line for a reason. If you have any inquiries, ask the people who are fucking there taking your questions. Don't ask me. There's people standing there on your way through the entrance to answer your fucking questions. Anyways, I still responded with, "No, sir, they're all currently sold out." And then he says in like the most like saltiest tone, he was like, "Okay, I'm never coming into this mall." First things first, the mall has nothing to do with the store, but he decided to say the mall. "I'm never going to come to this mall for nothing." Right? And at first I didn't quite hear what he said. So I'm like, "What was that?" Right. And then he goes, "Yeah, I said I'm never coming back here." Or whatever, right? And then he storms off, and I'm like, well, you don't see my face, but I had like one of my eyebrows up, and I did that face where it's like, the fuck? And I did actually say this. I'm like, I'm like, the fuck's up with him? Right? And then the customer that's paying, because at that point she was like, "It's fine, I'm paying with debit. I already like know the price." I'm like, "Cool." I hit the keys and then turned it to the machine and shit. And then she was like, "Yeah, that was weird." And then I asked her, I'm like, "I don't know, was I rude or something?" Because at that point I'm like, I really don't know like what my response sounded like. And then she's like, "No, I just said that they were sold out." I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? Because if I respond in like a negative way where it's like, "You dumb bitch, do not know how to read," and he says, "I'm never coming," like that makes sense. But I'm like, "No, sir, they're currently all sold out." And like, "I'm never coming here to ask for nothing again." It's like, I mean, you could. In fact, you could have asked him or her or him standing by the door ready to take your fucking inquiries. Because the first thing we do if you're not on cash is you stand out there or you stand in the back of the store, and your job is to just greet customers. So I'm guessing at least one person out of the 4 people standing in the front greeted you at least once. You chose to ignore them, and then you for some reason fucking asked me while I'm in the middle of a transaction. And that's the other thing. I hate it when motherfuckers be asking me questions mid-transaction. Like, bruh, there are people literally right next to you where if you have any questions, just ask them. I'm cashing a motherfucker out right now. Like when I'm on the POS, it's like, bruh, you see these people in the same uniforms that I'm wearing? Ask them. Just ask them whatever you need. Just ask them.
You dumb fuck.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like, jeez. Common sense, man. I fucking hate that shit. Because I never realized how frustrating a retail job could be. And it's like, most of it comes from, well, especially where I work. Most of it, like universally, just comes from people who lack common sense and are super entitled. The other thing that is actually location specific is where I work. For some reason or another, everyone is fucking high.
What?
Yeah, well, I shouldn't say everyone, but there is a good amount of people where I work where they're all fucking high. I'm not talking about my coworkers, by the way. I'm talking about like customers coming in. They're all fucking high for some reason. They're
I'm pretty sure you only told me like one story of someone who came to your store that was like absolutely like high out of his mind.
well, I don't know which one I told you because that was a bit generic, but literally, there's these two dudes. There's two dudes came in and I'm cashing one of them out, right? And then his buddy, his homeboy, just fucking stared at me straight in my soul, without without a single ounce of potential life, like perfect shutdown, no movement. You can't tell if he was breathing or not. If you put your finger in front of his nose, you're not gonna feel any airflow or anything. Straight up shut down, eyes halfway open, staring directly into my soul with his jaw hanging halfway open. And I'm like, I'm just going to ignore you, you creepy fuck, and cash out your buddy. And then one of my assistant managers was like, she just straight up said, yo, are you good? Because this was just staring at me like straight into my soul, no movement, like some Draymond Green shit.
It's the first time he's ever seen a human.
It's the first time I've ever seen an Asian dude or some shit. I don't know. It just straight up stared at me like, Nani? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Man's be fucking tripping out sometimes. And then, of course, like I also made like other videos on my own like channel where I, like recap like this one customer that like pretended to be rich and shit.
Oh yeah, right, that one.
Yeah,
That was
I love that. Even though that video doesn't have a lot of views, that's one of my favorite videos just because of the way that I engaged that story. But I'll put it in, if I remember to, at least I'll put it in the corner, or at least I'll put it in the description box. But anyways, I don't really know what happened today. It was really just me just fucking talking shit for like 50 minutes or so.
initially it was bad customer service. Then we just started ranting about terrible customers.
But it's so fucking infuriating, man. Like, jeez. Like, here's the thing. Kevin works in a restaurant and shit. Would you ever, after hearing my stories, would you ever consider working in a retail position?
Honestly, I wouldn't be against it. I mean, it honestly just sounds kind of normal. Like, it's like what you would expect if you worked retail.
Yeah, but remember my retail position, like, we have a lot of potheads in the building and shit.
Yeah, but that's like the same thing as like working in a Walmart.
Yo.
Right? A Walmart is like a mixed bag.
I just remember this. The funniest shit that ever happened was a man came into my store and then it's like, oh, he picks up I forget what it was. It was either a hat or a jersey or some shit. And then he goes like, excuse me, sir, what's the price on this? I was like, yeah, the price tag will be either on the tags or on the bottom of the brim. And then he goes like,
Right.
Holy! And then I'm like, okay, he probably thinks it's too much or some shit. And then he goes like, it was there the whole time? Yo, that's genius, dog.
So this dude was like high out of his mind.
Dude, this fam, like,
He was on a different plane of
you
existence.
could smell it. It was, this was before it was even legalized, but you could smell the weed.
You could feel the weed.
Because usually, like there has been times where, you know, a customer comes in and then checks out the price, like, excuse me, there must be a mistake. Is this really like X amount of money? It's like, yeah, it is. What? So what? Like, are you guys trying to like rip off your customers? Like we're really gonna sell this hat or, you know, like these pair of like basketball shorts for like this amount of money? It's like, well, I mean, where else could you get it for a lower price? And she's like, oh, I could get it at like a, I don't fucking know, like a Champ Sports or some shit, or like a Foot Locker or whatever, right? And like, okay.
Cool.
And then they came back, and then I'm like, oh, welcome back to, I need a generic name for this. Welcome back to the Sport Check. Fuck it, that sounds cool. Welcome back to the Sport Check. You wanted these shorts? And then she's like, yeah. I'm like, so did you check out Sport Check or Champs or whatever the fuck? And then she's like, they didn't have any left. I'm like, okay, cool. So Your total will be whatever, right? And then during my break, I would go to the Sport Check or the Champs or whatever. I'm like, you lying bitch! They had it for 3 cents more. Like let's say it was like $30.99. We had it for $30.97, and we had like a BOGO that day. Cheap ass bitch. I'm joking.
Wonderful.
Anyways, I think this will conclude it for, you know what, the first time we actually got a little bit ghetto and fabulous in this podcast. So yeah, this will conclude this episode of the Ghetto Fabulous Podcast. Kevin, where can we find you on YouTube, Instagram, and potentially Twitter and Facebook?
Let me just throw it in the description below.
Nah, bitch, you need to verbally say it too. Stop being lazy.
Let me go to my channel real quick then.
It'll be under the name Redial. I believe it's youtube.com/Shining Freedom, right?
Is it actually?
Well, if you were prepared, you would know. How come I know this better than you do? Because I do research.
Unbelievable.
It's like I asked you, like, so where can we find you? Shimata. Nah, but yeah, you can find YouTube. You can find Kevin on YouTube, youtube.com/Shining Freedom. And you can find him on Instagram. Fuck, what was your Instagram handle again? Klong.Redial? Is that what it was?
It was like, actually, well, I can pull it right now.
This is the most sloppiest outro to a podcast I've ever had, because usually at the, if nothing, even though we talk fucking bullshit, if nothing,
yeah, it's K.long.Redial.
How do you not know your own Insta handle? Anyways,
there's a lot of dots in there.
Anyways, my name is Kirby Kwan Jr. Thank you for listening. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, and even SoundCloud, all under Kirby Kwan Jr. That is KIRBYKWANJR. Once again, thank you for listening to the Ghetto Fabulous Podcast, and we will see you next time. Deuces. So, like, do you guys still have the champion hats?